Hello everyone, we're going to start with the conference number 47, the Ego of Witchcraft. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. There was a problem with the microphone, but now everything's working, so let's start. This topic is really fundamental to understand the value of the sexual creative energy and how can we create this defect that actually everyone has inside of their psychology, the defect of witchcraft, and is related to the use of the sexual creative energy. So we're going to go deep into this subject and analyze all the aspects that form the part of this psychological defect that we need to urgently understand and eliminate in order to advance in the spiritual work of the creation of the superior existential bodies for our being. So let's begin. Uh, so the aim is to understand that we have the ego of witchcraft in our psychology and to get rid of it urgently because it's necessary to advance in the superior existential bodies that are made up of our sexual creative energy. So in order to value that energy that makes part of our human machine, we need to value what we have inside of us, so that energy that we don't value, that we don't know that it has a lot of faculties, powers, and forces that we need. We just waste it because we haven't been related to the topic of this value of the energy, the sexual energy. We don't know their secrets. So it's necessary to eliminate this ego in order to do something useful with our sexual creative energy. So let's go deep into the matter that is the different types of or forms that there is to use the sexual creative energy. There are three types of sexual magic or tantrism, and because of our ignorance and because this topic of the sexual creative energy has been hidden for a long time, has been in the occultism, we just don't know about the use of this energy that is the most important that we have, is our treasure, and just we don't understand the implications that it has. So the white tantrism is the creation of the children of light that are the superior existential bodies for our being, that are made up with this sexual creative energy that is purified with the psychological death and reinforced with the power of love, of helping mankind. That is why tantrism, or awakening the fire of the kundalini. So these essences that are liberated with the death of our ego, we are going to be born from fire. That is what is called the spiritual birth, because this fire of the serpent kundalini is going to regenerate the vital body, the physical body, regenerate the vital body, create the astral body, the mental body, the causal body, and get us to unite with the buddhic and atmic body. That means the awakening of the 100% of conscience that we have. And we need to work with this sexual creative energy. We cannot ignore that we are made up of this energy. In order for us to have a physical body, our physical mother and father had to work with that sexual energy and unite and the sexual cells in order to form this human machine that we have. but we need to know that there is also the great tantrism. That great tantrism is the practice without any purpose. We just have a sexual encounter just for pleasure, for entertainment, and we don't care about the creation of love in the sexual practice. So that is what everyone does, because we ignore what is the meaning of the sexual energy. We just have sex for pleasure, for entertainment, for fascination with our prototype of beauty, and we just don't know what is the real use of sexual energy to create love. And love is a form of magnetism that is really superior, and that is going to awaken our conscience and get us to be in touch with the 3% of justice, wisdom, and love that is our conscience, our being. And the black tantrism, that is totally the opposite, is just waking the power of the Konda buffer organ, that is the vibration of all our ego that is tied up to the infradimensions of planet Earth. So that is awakening in the dark side. People that are interested in witchcraft, they do this voluntarily. They strengthen their ego, their anger, their injustice, their ignorance, their hate, all of that. They strengthen that power by using the sexual creative energy to develop the Konda buffer organ, create more ego, have more powers, have more faculties and forces back to the dark side. So that is the use of the sexual creative energy. There are these three types of uses, and we are going to take a look at how to eliminate this ego of witchcraft, because we tend to use this great tantrism because of our ignorance, because we always search for pleasure and entertainment. But sooner or later, when we create more degenerated defects in the sexual practices, we are going to derivate into black tantrism without even knowing. So because of our lust, we are going to create heavier and heavier defects that want to tie people, that want to be the owner of our partner, that want to manipulate, that wants to just keep and retain that person by our side, even if that person doesn't want. A lot of heavy defects that can be created in the use of sexual magic. So with the white tantrism, is a practice that is used to grow our percentage of conscience, to create this divine power that is like a god, like a sleeping god inside ourselves. But it can wake up. That god that we have inside can grow and can awaken. With black tantrism, demons are created, so we can work to the dark side or to the white side using the sexual creative energy. Having this information clear, you can evidence the relationship between sexual magic and witchcraft. We can use this sexual energy that has a lot of powers, virtues, faculties, forces to help our conscience, the percentage of justice, wisdom, and love, or we can make grow that percentage of darkness that we have, that is ignorance, injustice, and hate. So we just ignore that this energy has a lot of secrets, and it has been hidden for a long time, the secrets of the use of sex. But right now we are letting humanity know this information so they can awaken their conscience. People can awaken the force of the Kundalini and get to awaken their conscience. The main difference between a white magician and a black magician is the quality of the knowledge. So with the white tantrism, the conscience is liberated, we are going to liberate the essence. For instance, if we have a defect of anger, of violence, we want to change that, we are going to deny that defect, that desire that we want, that we have, to get revenge, to search for getting even with someone that we don't like. And we are going to eliminate all the details of that defect, and we are going to rescue the virtue of forgiveness, of solving problems in a calm way. And we are going to rescue those virtues, faculties, and forces to do something that is fair, that is useful, that is truthful, and that psychological death is going to make us purify our energy, the different energies that we have in our human machine, the mental energy, emotional energy, the sexual energy. So we're going to rescue that fire, and with that fire is the material that we are going to create. But with black tantrism, black magicians are formed, and they are interested in strengthening that dark side, that is the Konda buffer organ, that is the ego. They want power, they want recognition, they want prestige, they want people to worship them, they want to manipulate, they want pleasure, they want to go from pleasure to pain, and not searching for their conscience. So they work only to satisfy these five senses. We have these five senses that are from the physical world, the sense of touch, smell, taste, all the superficial senses. They want to satisfy them, and they are searching for being tied to the materialistic forces. So that is the difference between a white and a black magician. It is urgent that we study the black magician in our behavior. So we think that we don't have it within ourselves, that we, because we are searching for the conscience, we are totally free from that, and that those are others that are working towards the dark side. But if we don't eliminate this ego that is related to the unconscious use of the sexual creative energy, if we keep fornicating, we keep expelling that sexual creative energy through orgasm and ejaculation, we are going to create legions of psychological defects. So we need to urgently eliminate the ego of fornication, and start working towards chastity, because with this sexual creative energy that we save and purify, we are going to awaken the power of the Kundalini that is going to make the difference and prevent us for falling into the black magic, because black magic is related to our ego. And though we don't fornicate, if we are not liberating ourselves from that psychological burden that is our ego, we are sooner or later going to lose the power of handling, of controlling our sexual apparatus, because there is a lot of lust, there is a lot of lasciviousness, there is a lot of sexual tension related to the ego of fornication. It's a defect that is really heavy, that we have been feeding for different all the human existences we have had. So it's urgent that we understand it and eliminate it profoundly, not only in sensations, not only in reactions, not only in desires, in unconscious emotions, but we eliminate it also in the physical aspect, in controlling our sexual apparatus and eliminating all the aspects of our impressions from the physical world, the senses, how we get fascinated with the prototype of beauty, by the five senses of this third dimension, the visual aspect, the sense of touch, of smell, of hearing, and we get totally fascinated and hypnotized, and we don't see the profound aspect that is creating love in our sexuality. So, what are the specialities of black magicians and witches? There are a lot and different kinds of black magic, and we could be tied, and we could be, before knowing about this knowledge, we could be practicing these types of activities related to the black magic, like pseudo esotericism, like reading the fortune, doing all those things, maybe because of our ignorance, or maybe we did know a little bit, but we didn't care. So before knowing about this knowledge, we did a lot of things, and we need to analyze and meditate to about all these schools in which we have been. If we have been in schools of pseudo esotericism, or we have been practicing different types of just fanaticism, mythomania, that is totally related to the black magic, because we are working towards the forces of ego, for getting to grow that dependence, that force of making people be a believer of us. So sources, spiritualists, fortune tellers, counselors, doomsayers, false prophets, healers, doctors, santeros, prayers, priests, magnetizers, hypnotizers, witchers, voodoo fetishists, forgers, deceivers, all of those kinds of black magic. If we have done it, we need to meditate it. We need to analyze why we did it. Maybe it was because a defect of mythomania, that we wanted to appear like we were sages, like we knew it all, like we liked people to follow us, to profit from that, to gain economical power, to receive money from people that wanted to know their destiny, maybe. So all of that, if we have done it in this existence, we need to meditate it and liberate that essence that is trapped in the ego of black magic. So there are different attacks of the black magicians, and we need to defend ourselves from those attacks that are in the astral world or in the mental world, projecting movies that are like scenes from a psychological defect. All of this we can prevent it with the psychological death if we eliminate our ego that is tied up or bonded to those schools of black magic. We are going to close the gate, close the door to all those attacks, because our ego is the door or the gate to which they enter, because they have this connection with us, and we have the ego alive. So if we eliminate it, we are going to prevent these attacks from happening. Also, if we do the energetical enclosures, the Berlin magic circle, we also are going to protect us from those attacks. They do teachings that confuse, they associate with black magicians, they profit the identification with lust, because they are interested in extracting our sexual creative energy. They know that we are saving and purifying our energy, and that energy has powers and faculties and forces that are profitable for their own purposes. So we need to do those enclosures, and we need to meditate our defects of lust, because they can make us lose that sexual energy through a nocturnal emission, profiting our lasciviousness, our own defects of lost our own defects of being attracted to the prototype of beauty, and well, a witch can take the form of whatever prototype of beauty we have and manifest in the dream, seducing us in order for us to give our energy. So they end up stealing our sexual creative energy that we have worked so much to save. So when awake, they send people, they employ professional magicians in order to harm us, to profit from our power. If, for example, you are an economically really powerful person in the physical world and people want to take away your business, they want to destroy you, they want to just do you harm for some reason, they can do that with black magic, and people that are interested on working and gaining money from that. Manipulated students, people that are studying this type of knowledge and they are confused by a wrong teaching about awakening the conscious, doing something that is related to pseudo esotericism or being dependent on some person that is giving lectures or in charge of handling groups. So they develop those powers of fanaticism and mythomania. So they do haunting spells, ligatures, toys, they work with funerals, substances, they do different works like the evil eye, the intervention of elementals that are the souls of plants in order to interfere with the destiny, harm people, destroy, or just take away something that they want from people. If, for instance, someone is desiring the partner of another one, if you're interested in breaking up a couple because you are having an obsession with a woman that is married and you want to destroy the marriage, so that person can contact a dark magician in order to do harm and separate the couple. A lot of things can happen, but if you are protected, you are not going to suffer from those karmas because you're paying with dharma, you are understanding your own defects of black magic, and if you are related to those processes of karma, you can come out of those circumstances. There are black magic operations, castrations, operations in the sexual organs, in the brain, in the spine. They cause enmities with friends, family, students, acquaintances, psychic obsessions, fixed ideas, negative thoughts, negative emotions, vices like alcoholism, drugs, gambling, good and bad luck selves. Those are related to the ego of witchcraft. So if we have relation and have fed a lot of those defects, we need to eliminate them. We need to meditate about defects of drugs and alcoholism, of addiction to gaining of money, to gambling, to be related with manipulation of the forces of destiny, believing on someone who supposedly has powers. He's graded a great hierarchy that has faculties, has psychic powers. We need to destroy all of those fixed ideas that we have fed if we have done it in this existence. Through some aspects of the culture, if we have been so intellectual, consuming a lot of books, believing of a psychiatrist, scientist, a lot of authority, like forces of literature that say, I'm the authority here, you have to believe in my words, and you become a believer of those people that write a book and that are supposed to have more knowledge in the intellectual part. We need to destroy all those forces in order to awaken our conscience, because our conscience is not trapped in intellectualism or being a believer of someone else that is supposed to be better than us or have uh, uh, a more advanced degree in intellect. All sources of theories, concepts, ideas. The main places where witchcraft is work is in clinics, cemeteries, pseudo-esoteric schools, churches, prayer temples, tolerance zones, like brothels, motels, theaters. Those places are filled with energetically larvae. Energetical larvae are these remnants, or these energy that keeps tied up to the place in which people have fornicated a lot. Not only the sexual creative energy through orgasm and ejaculation, but also their emotional energy. When you see churches and places like where religions take place, you say, but that is not related to the losing of the energy. Well, yeah, it's related to the losing of our emotional energy, because we give all this energy of believing, of being fascinated, of worshiping the priest or the person that is in charge of this church, and we become fanatic of that person. So we are fornicating that emotional energy, that mental energy that we have all the time, thinking that he has the authority, that we need to believe on him, that we need to go, that we need to give money to him in order to be better, in order to be good people. So we are losing our energy in all senses, not only our energy related to the sexual glands in these places like brothels, but also the emotional and mental energy in churches, in cemeteries, also in movie theaters, which powers are Gina states. Gina states is like teletransportation, like if you could go to the fourth dimension and get through time and space and transport your physical body from one place to another. Levitation, the astral and mental projection, the management of animals, elementals, magical hearing. These are the powers that they can develop and that they search to enhance with the black magician. Exercise the activity of awakening in the dark side. Telepathy, presentiment, and agarikas of 13 degrees, sexual mastery. They work with amulets, talismans, stones, rings, gloves, capes, cords, crowns, turbans, bonnets, staffs, scepters, and swords. And their purpose is manipulating people, having a lot of money, prestige, power, being fascinated with the physical world, with the materialism and the five senses of perception. The witch works are spells, manipulation, dependencies, dolls, essences, watches, cleanings, irrigations, all that is related to the physical world. We have a lot of dependence to materialism. We think that we are going to be better, that we are going to advance spiritually if we do a purification bath, if we purchase a book, if we purchase a cape or something that is material. And spiritual force, our spiritual development doesn't depend of the material things that we acquire. We can acquire a lot of objects, talismans, a lot of books, a lot of things that are from the physical world, but we can have the same anger, the same greed, the same lust. So we haven't advanced anything towards the awakening of this 3% of justice, wisdom, and love. So advice, healings, prayers, rituals are things that fascinate us and hypnotize us, because we think that is something that related to the psychic powers, that is something that is transcendental. But no, it's totally the opposite. It's using that power of the psychism, the low psychism, in order to confuse and fascinate people with the superficial part. So the bonding and breaking bonds, the work with earth, elementals, animals, souls, the zombies, black tantrism, essences, operations, working with semen, with organs, with the school of the tattoo is also a gate through which different psychological defects are strengthened, and also it's a gate through which the black magician has the power to enter. If we have a tattoo in our body, that is the gate or the door through which the black magician is going to enter to our psychology, and he can manipulate us, he can project fixed ideas, and also we need to meditate. If we have done a tattoo, what was the reason for that? Why did we do it? If it was because of vanity, because of insecurity, because of lust, a lot of reasons. So we can close the gate to that school of the tattoo, and they can no longer keep stealing energy from us. So the dominations with advices, seductions, emotional forces, mental forces, hypnotism, magnetization, sacrifices, even satanism, that is the inverted power, the ignorance, hate, and suffering, potencing that power to harm people in order to strengthen the conda buffer organ, and gain powers in the dark world. So the diseases of the physical, vital, astral, and mental body. When people work towards becoming a black magician, they have these psychological defects so heavy that they can no longer get in touch with their 3% of justice, wisdom, and love. The conscience is totally slept. Even maybe the conscience can be so distant from them that they no longer want to be in touch with their human side. They become really animalistic, really instinctive, and they use people just for achieving pleasure, achieving richness, power, prestige, and they then get rid of people that they are no longer interested in. So the divinations like astrology, tarot, cartomancy, chirology, iridiology, spiritism, Ouija, the cup game, cigarettes, reading, tobacco, the cups of chocolate, all those things that even we have superstitious defects and have done this in our existence, we need to meditate it. The candles, the clairvoyance defects, bad clairvoyance, awakening that power in order to serve our ego, to manipulate, to seduce, to gain power, to gain health, to avoid karma, the pendulums, the hypnotist, all of these defects that we can have fed in our psychological world in this existence. We need to meditate them in order to liberate ourselves from those schools and be free to work towards the awakening of our conscience. So the amulets, talismans, we have already talked about all those types of black magic. We can have done it in this existence, or we can have subtle defects related to them that are manipulations of people, wanting power, wanting prestige, wanting to achieve health, exhibiting powers, trading with the powers, not respecting the free will of people, manipulating, projecting fixed ideas, banding people with substances and concoctions. All of that, we can have done it, or can have subtle details related to those things, like fanaticism and mythomania, for instance. These are subtle details, but we tend to not look at the importance of them in order to destruct them, so we can rescue the essence that is trapped, that is the willing to rescue our percentage of justice, wisdom, and love. So if we are interested in only health, money, love, powers, but love is not well understood. It's just lust. We confuse love with lust, and we want to just get fascinated by our prototype of beauty, even if that person doesn't interest us for anything but for having fun and entertaining ourselves. Pleasure, seduction, revenge, hate, domination of people, all those details, if we have fed them in this existence, in little details, we need to eliminate them. How to know a black magician? They advise, develop hate, feel hate, create enmity, attacks. They trade in medicine, contraceptions, castrations, abortions. Those are crimes against the Holy Spirit. We need to pay them with karma duro. They are going to charge us. The divine law is going to charge us with pain. We need to pay that karma with not negotiable pain, because those are crimes against the Holy Spirit, that is our physical body, the temple of our sexual creative energy. So when we experiment with this physical body that we have, that is a temple, we adulterate laws, we destroy our energy, and this vehicle that we have for manifesting in the third dimension. The genetic crosses, the undressing of patients, the raping of the physical body. There are many ways of doing that. That is totally normalized because the school of medicine just functions that way in these times. So they alter the objective knowledge. They teach pseudo-esotericism, give titles, give degrees, lead others astray, develop fanaticism, deliver their followers to the abyss. They have friends and enemies. They advertise. They have clinics. They live off other people's money, and they charge. So these schools of black magic, we need to distinguish them in order not to fall in them, get totally fascinated by those false teachings. And if we have been a part of those schools, we need to meditate in order to break the bonds and liberate our conscience. So this is a cartoon that explains how we alter the laws of nature. I died waiting for a cure with embryo research, and you, I was the embryo. So we alter the laws of nature. We detach from our being. We distance ourselves eternally from our being. We awaken the conduct buffer organ, working in order to create more ego with our sexual creative energy. Work with embos, spirit, burials, uh, uh, profiting our powers to get in touch with these demons and uh, get different results from those processes. They mediate in black magic works. So uh, they preach, but they do not apply. They are fearful, play with candles, magnetizing, hypnotizing, and the subject of extraterrestrials, they get really fascinated with those subjects, even if they haven't uh, verified in the astral world about the different planets, the different galaxies. We can use the astral projection in order to get in touch with that part, the astral travel, but not for fascinating ourselves with that ufology that abounds there. So our intellectualism, our fanaticism, our mythomania are the defects that we need to urgently eliminate because they are related with that force of the black magic. If we are totally greedy, we are fascinated with physical prestige, a lot of wealth, comfort in the physical world. We need to eliminate that in order to rescue the power of the force of our spirit that is not tied to materialism. To advance in the path, we need to break that bond with our issues, greedy defects that want to fascinate with that wealth that we can acquire in the third dimension. So due to the lack of psychological world, we can go wrong in the advancing of our spiritual development. So it's urgently that we eliminate all the defects, because if we don't focus in the details of the black magic that is inside of us, we are going to sooner or later feed those defects. Even in details, they get accumulated and accumulate, and sooner or later we are going to lose that connection with our wisdom, justice, and love. So this was the conference about the witchcraft defect. It's really, really urgent that we eliminate the defect of fornication, the fascination with creating more ego that is expelling that energy, that sexual energy from our body, and also that we work in the psychological death, in the three factors. Well, because with psychological death, we are going to free ourselves from our ego, purify our energy, and we are going to straighten up our path, working towards what is useful, truthful, and fair, and not working toward the dark side. And with sacrifice for humanity, we are going to make that that wisdom that we have acquired serve people around us, to our conscience to grow, to have more impulse and the help of the divine law and the beings of other people that surround us, in order to advance, because without love it's not possible to advance. So we need to give the benefit to all mankind to know about this knowledge, in order to get to awaken our conscience. That's why these three factors of the revolution of our conscience are totally fundamental in for us to work towards the white side, the white magic, and well, achieving that chastity that we need in order to work with our couple and awaken the serpent kundalini. The serpent Kundalini is going to take care of all of us. When we get in touch with that force that is our inner Christ, that inner Christ is going to take control of our human machine, and our conscience will get to grow, and we will achieve the 100%, this self-realization of our being. That is when we are totally white magicians. Instead of us, we are going to keep having a dark side, and it's urgent to eliminate that portion that is always leaning towards the black side, in order for us to free ourselves from our ego. So this was the conference, and thank you a lot for sharing for this information, for sharing your time with us, and attending. We will be sharing more information and more techniques to awaken our conscience, and different lectures. And so have a good day and keep working. Have a lot of fire, of a positive mood, in order to profit your time to awaken your conscience, to awaken your conscience. And most of all, this conference is going to give you the impulse to meditate that ego of witchcraft that everyone has within ourselves. So have a good day, and see you in the next lecture. Bye.